Hello, leaders. This is Paul Grau Jr., and welcome to the summer edition of Run to Your Leadership Challenges. The summer edition will be a combination of replays from the past year or two with a few new episodes every so often. These replays will be a great reminder of the tips and challenges from the past year or two, and we'll still be able to accomplish our primary goal for the show, and that is to equip team leaders on a daily basis to lead through the challenges you face every day. This show is brought to you by the Current Leadership Coaching Team, or the CLC Team, and we primarily work with leaders in the manufacturing industry who lead their own teams and are a part of a larger leadership team within an organization. These leaders can be at one site or at multi-sites. We work with these team leaders to get them all on the same leadership page with the same mindsets and attitudes and the same commitment levels to their team members and to the organization as a whole. For more info on how we can help you and your team, visit www.clcteam.com. Okay, let's talk about today's challenge or tip.
I hope you're having a great day today, and it's only going to get better. So this whole past week, we've been talking about leading through personality conflicts. And today, we're going to wrap things up with what I consider to be one of the most detailed personality conflicts. And that is conflict that involves the C-style personality from the DISC assessment. If you have C-style personalities on your team, they will stand out because these are your team members who always produce the absolute best products. They are your perfectionists, your team members who actually prefer to work alone and have very little to say, but when they do say something, man, it's usually very valuable information. I mean, stuff that nobody else comprehends or even thought about. Your C personalities also need more information and details and data. No matter how much you provide them, they will always ask, what else can we find? As I mentioned earlier, they will put together the most perfect reports and are usually the smartest team members because they read and research and find the answers to everything. They simply don't like opinions, and they crave the facts. Your C-style team members are all about getting the job completed correctly. I mean, in the most accurate way possible. Anything less than 100% correct is inadequate for your high C personalities. And that level of perfection can often drive others around them into a rage, especially your I personalities, who have the mindset of, hey, it's good enough, or we'll fix it when it breaks. Your C personalities are more critical of themselves than anyone will ever be of them. And they really hate getting criticized or just being wrong. I mean, they take a lot of pride in being right. Now, your C personalities are great team members to have because they keep things straight and they can follow and enforce all the rules and policies that you have. And at the same time, they can be a real pill to work with because of that, especially for everyone who is not a perfectionist in the organization. The thing is, that's the way they are naturally wired, and everyone on your team needs to understand and accept that and utilize the C personality's keen eye for details anywhere on the team. C personalities can take on many different roles within your team. And a little hint here, the less people that they have to deal with on a daily basis, the better. Let them work alone and let them go. Now, when you're dealing with conflict that involves a C personality, you better be sure to have all your facts in line. And do not, under any circumstance, base your decisions on opinions, as that will set them off even more. Knowing this, however, you can always be as prepared as possible when working with a C-style personality. When it comes to planning for a big project, your C personalities will know all the details and can be easily frustrated when people do things wrong or stray away from the plans they designed. Keep this in mind and don't let it catch you off guard. Again, it's just the way your C personalities are wired. Probably the biggest no-no when conflict involves a C personality is to openly criticize them or point out where they may have done something wrong. Criticism simply crushes them, especially from close coworkers or close family members. If you must tell them something is wrong, Just be cautious with your words and ask them for suggestions on how to fix it. So just like this whole week, today's challenge is for you to identify your C-style personalities on your team and make note of who they are next to all the other team members that you've identified over the last 3 days. Now you have everyone on your team identified as a D, I, S, or C. And now I want you to take it one step further. Look at your entire list and go through each team member one at a time and think if they have a combination of 2 or more DISC styles. Now, you may have been doing this all along, and that's great if you have. And then finally, schedule a team meeting where you can sit down with your entire team and discuss the 4 DISC personality styles and the strengths and weaknesses of each style, as we talked about all week. Explain to your team what each style means. Or heck, just listen to this past week's episodes and discuss it with them as each one plays out. This can be a lot of fun, and chances are you will instantly recognize specific traits in everyone on your team. Okay, if you haven't guessed it by now, the whole purpose of this entire week was to make you aware of all the different personalities within your team and organization, and to help you understand that this is the way your team members are naturally wired, and you cannot change their personality. Now, you can alter it a bit. However, if you do alter it, keep in mind that you shouldn't try to expect somebody to do something outside their natural gifting and be great at it, or be completely happy doing it. Knowing how everyone on your team is wired will greatly help you work through and minimize conflict, because it allows you to understand that conflict often has very little to do with whether somebody likes you or not. Many times it all comes down to having wrong expectations of people and or expecting people to be something that they're not.
Hey, that's it for today. But if you need further details on how the CLC team can work with you and other leaders within your organization, please check out our website at www.clcteam.com. We would love to connect with you and start building a better relationship. After all great leadership starts with relationships. Hey, have a great rest of your day. And until next time, run to your challenges.